master. The pit master was cooking in the fire pits. They say that somebody else brought us barbecue. BS. We've been barbecuing longer than barbecue been here.
That's right. Yeah, I learned how to
We
barbecue
invented it.
logs from my great uncle. You know what I'm saying? And my Uncle Buck. Build a pit out of cinder blocks, you know.
Yeah.
And he always said the secret was the earth, because you just use charcoal in the earth. Man, just with salt, no barbecue sauce on it or nothing, man, that was some of the best meat I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that. But it's
all
always,
of our culture's still here. They monetized the parts of our culture they couldn't purge. They monetized it. Thanksgiving is not a European holiday. Black Friday is a European celebration of a mass slaughter. But the Thanksgiving Day celebration is a tribal celebration that long predated Columbus. That's why they call it a pagan holiday. Everything that they call pagan mean that it goes back to Pangea.
Look into it a little bit more. There's something hidden in there that he hiding from us. Yeah.
Look, and we used to have corn festivals. The corn festival was the most celebrated of the harvests. And everybody didn't grow the same. Corn didn't look alike. You had the priestesses of Oshun grew the golden corn. That was it. The other people grew ruby corn, what they call Indian corn. They had the purple corn. Different kinds of corn that they made different dishes out of. This is why when you look at Southwestern cuisine, you see most of it is fresh vegetables chopped up with some kind of liquid binding agent like a salad dressing or a vinaigrette. Some of them might use lemon juice or whatever, like in sauces and whatnot. Some of them simmer them down. That's because they was canning them, but the fresh one was the best ones.
Got a question for you, Chief. When Donald Trump signed the executive order recognizing the Lumbee from North Carolina, what did that signify? And tell us about the moves that he's making for, like you say, on the cover of the continuity government for FEMA, that it includes tribal participation in what we're seeing. Because like just in my mindset, am I right that I don't need federal, or we don't need federal recognition to exist? So what is that? What was being said in that move?
So when you got to remember, everything Trump doing is to undo the corporation.
Right.
The recognition of the Lumbee tribe, they've been fighting both the real Lumbee tribe. I forgot what that brother name is, but you seen he about my complexion, and then he be having his face painted red and black. He the real Lumbee chief.
You talking about? Okay, I got you. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't remember his name.
He's the real Lumbee chief. He's the one. If you're gonna recognize the Lumbee tribe, you got to go talk to him.
Right.
Any other Lumbee tribe is either ceremonial or imposters. But in the recognition of the right Lumbee tribe, and they also having discussions about Cherokee tribes too, because the Cherokees is really a group of tribes. This is why they all got different heritable claims, because they all come from different tribes that they inherit their birthright from. The government is aware of everything that I'm saying. It's just that they don't want us to know it and talk about it openly in the public like this, because it what they call put salt in their game. I'm trying to make it so salty and bitter that they can't take it no more.
Sprinkle. I hear you. All right. And then one more question, and let somebody else get up in. And it's always an honor, man, to listen to you do what you do.
Where my boy at?
Oh, he up in there, man. He worked a 12-hour shift. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of dark. He's just sitting in the dark, probably talking to his lady. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
What's going on with you, Chief?
Hey, man.
And step on in here, so he, like I'm showing up on the screen, but here he is right here.
Yeah, I can't see Jack over here, but the people can see y'all.
Okay, yeah, that's my son.
I can't call it. I'm just sitting here with Big Mo. You know what I mean?
That's for sure. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I told him, look, hey, I told your pops, I said, tell him to stick his head under that chick arm and don't come out till this shit over.
That's right.
No, I'm sitting in there. Too. I was about to say, I'm sitting in there listening to every word, man. That night, I don't know if you remember the night that y'all got on the phone, maybe about 2-3 weeks ago. It was real late, and I was already in bed, and I started to go listen to some Dr. York, but then I heard your voice, and his phone loud, so, and then you got a deep voice, so it travels, so it was kind of like I had you in my right ear, and I had Doc in my left ear. And I was like, man, let me go ahead and see what Rod's talking about. So I paused it, and I was like, damn, them motherfuckers been on the phone for a minute, but you was dropping jewels. So I was just laying in my bed and listening, like, damn, he know what the fuck going on. So thank you. Like he said, man, like you couldn't have worded that better, Dad, just how much of an honor it is to listen to the information that you present. Like, I don't take that shit for granted, yo. Like, the way that you present it with that same little flair of like knowing exactly what you're talking about, but then know how to make it sound funny, sound cool, all at the same time. That shit's a blessing to see. So thank you for everything, man. And I can't wait till this shit over with, man. Like I say, I just be trying to use my third eye to see motherfuckers like you and Doc just sitting back, relaxing, yo. Like, you know what I'm saying? All the kids running around, some good food getting cooked up, all this bullshit comes to an end. That's why I try and use my mental projection for it. So I can't wait to see that come to fruition.
Oh, you gotta do what?
Sitting under that chick arm until this shit over with.
You got some good orders.
Yeah, for real. No doubt.
Hey, look, I can't wait till it's my turn to rest on some breasts.
Yeah. I'm probably
like that's in the West. This is a mess.
That's right. Living heavy.
It seemed overdue, man. When this shit gonna pop?
It's popping. It ain't popping as fast as I want it to. And probably if it ain't moving fast enough for me, then it's not moving fast enough for most people. But we watching it being dismantled, it's being done in our face, and ain't no secret.
Yeah.
One of the things they had to find is, okay, you said that we had this much money. Where the money at? Show me the money. So Elon said, don't worry about it. Trump, can I go show them what these people did with the money? He said, go right on ahead, Elon. Just don't do nothing I don't tell you to do. So they sent him in there. Now they're telling us where all the money, and all the Democrats are having full-fledged nervous breakdown that they being audited for the first time since they've been there. Ain't nobody decided to audit them but Donald J. I wonder why that is.
That's the truth.
You got to catalog all of your resources and assets in order to liquidate the bank.
Liquidate. That's right.
Remember, the Pope called all the money back in 2020.
Yeah, that's right.
And he been got out the game.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Right in front of our faces. You said Babylon failed. That's the truth.
Yeah, you remember this song by the Ghetto Boys called "Money in the Power"?
No, I don't think I heard that. I'm gonna check it out though.
You gotta listen to it.
No boy. Money. What is it called again?
Money in the Power.
Money in the Power. I'm gonna check that out. But the other question I wanted to ask, one of the last things that with the Biden administration was the release of Leonard Peltier. I think is how you pronounce his last name, from the AIM, and I want to say it was at Wounded Knee, right?
Out of Florida, they say he had shot them feds.
Okay, right. What was I thought that was, he did, like Joe Biden did that, like with hours left for him to walk out of the office or whatever. What did that signify to us? And
That's
you know,
another
what did you see in
one.
that?
That's another one of the chiefs being put back on the land.
All right.
He a good example of what I'm talking about, knowing your allies versus knowing your enemies.
Right.
Leonard Peltier, he look Hispanic, but he native.
Right.
And he been fighting just as hard as any other liberation fighter in our community against the same enemy.
Mm.
Right? We forget 1975, the feds full-fledged raided the reservation, had a shootout with the tribe.
Mm-hmm.
We be forgetting about that kind of stuff because we want what's ours and we don't want to be short-stopped. But we can't cut our enemies off, our allies off, and throw them in the pile with the enemy, because without them, you wouldn't have been successful.
Right.
You ever see my man with Farrakhan say, if you walk into any mosque in America, first person, third person, fifth person, you lay your hand on them and you lay your hand on the Native American.
That's right. I want to say he was at a Navajo Nation when he was.
Yeah. He looked Hispanic.
True.
But he ain't.
Yeah, I've seen that interview.
And he's telling us not to fall for the slave bullshit.
Yeah, it was deep what you pointed out with Harriet Tubman. That was real deep. Had to let that sink in. You know what I'm saying? Because I know the quote. That's a real skillful little twist on things right there. I could have freed a whole bunch more y'all, and they just know that it was slaves.
They gave us all these fictional heroes.
Right.
But as long as we worshiping the fictional heroes as the actual people that was performing the function, we ain't gonna never investigate and find out who was the real people fighting for our freedom. They manufacture our heroes. So Tupac is more of a hero than fucking Al Sharpton.
Right.
He did more for us than Al Sharpton did.
A known informant. My dad tried to share me like a little video because I didn't participate in voting, right? I haven't for a while. But I still, I'm aware of what's going on politically, the characters being put before us. So he sent me this video. So I sent him back a picture, and it's like the snapshot of the article where he was working with the FBI. Dick Gregory goes into it, And then the pictures that I believe he was a part when he went down to Tom Ray. They got pictures of him and Jesse Jackson walking down there with Malachi. You know what I mean? So
look, lucky I wasn't down there. I told him, run them niggas out of here. Them niggas down here looking for information.
Yeah, man. The one like he would Dick Gregory says that on the balcony that picture was staged. How you gonna be sitting there pointing instead of I'm standing there next to somebody and they get popped, we gonna scramble. I'm scrambling. I ain't gonna be in that picture. And everybody's pointing like that,
All you gotta do is go back to Instagram and TikTok. Picture worth 1,000 words. These niggas posing for pictures, filming crimes, all kind of stuff for views. And it's the same thing back then. They wanted to look like they was doing some important work, and all the time they exposing themselves as the traitors.
Right. So, hey, man, I just thank you, man, for who you are, Chief. And it's amazing to watch all of this unfold. And a lot of times I find myself not being in fear, uncertainty, and doubt because of, our scholars on the land who have, you following the assignment to the T to educate yourself out of it, and us, bring us with you out of this condition. So thank you, my brother. That's a lot of damn information, books, that you done got.
My mama had a conversation one time, and I told my mom, I don't mind being rich, but I don't want to be rich by myself. She said, why you say that? I said, because when you rich by yourself, That's the loneliest place to be because you can't trust nobody.
Wow.
I say, but when you rich with a family, a whole team, y'all rich together, y'all can laugh and joke and let your guard down with each other.
That's right. That's
You
right.
can't do that if you get rich by yourself and you become an island of man in the midst of men. You can't do
Mm,
that because you're going to always have motherfuckers resentment and people looking to take what you got. You have
mm,
to know that if you want to win, the best way to win is to bring many people across the finish line as possible with
that's right.
you. And that way that it'll be enough grateful people around you that the ungrateful won't even matter.
Wow. Mm,
And they're going to show themselves faster and more blatantly because the selfishness, the people that care, going to be like, get that selfish motherfucker away from the chief.
hmm, hmm. So it's better to be loved than feared. And that pose
No,
in Machiavelli.
no, that's some bullshit.
Okay.
It's
That's the
better,
question posed, though, right?
right? But the correct answer is it's better to be respected. Respect
Ah,
is a
word,
thin
word,
line.
yeah, right. Wow, I like that. That's right, my man. Yeah, I
That,
like it. Okay, I'm listening.
so, so now, out of respect, they don't have to fear you. And
Mm,
from the side of the love, all they want to do is honor you because you're respectable.
all right. They
Yeah.
don't gotta feel you because they respect you, right? And the love,
And
the honor.
this is one of the things that we have to teach the boys. If you carry yourself in a respectable manner, you are least likely to be disrespected.
Mm,
People respect the respectable and they disrespect the disrespected.
mm,
You got to know if you don't have the character, then you can't expect to produce the quality.
mm,
Authenticity. Yes.
mm,
Yep, Kalila. Authenticity. Be genuine. Don't fake it for
mm,
nobody. Be who you is, loud and clear.
mm.
You know, lead with love,
Man.
but master the throat punch. And just don't forget. Sometimes, look, sometimes you gotta fuck a motherfucker up to do what's
That's
right.
right. Was it push that snot box back? Yeah, yeah. I got that. I took that one. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh-huh. That's right.
Just
That's right.
just cause I love everybody don't mean I'm gonna carry my 45. Cause everybody ain't gonna love me.
No. Mm-mm.
I didn't already been proved that.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. This is why they take discipline out the home, Kalila, because good character is taught at home first. And this is how you take that good character out in the world and you raise your status among the other tribes. If you ain't taught good character at home, when you go out to get your blessings from the other tribes across the land, you're gonna get shot down. We don't want you to be no chief, nigga. You a rotten motherfucker.
Right. Yeah. Ain't nobody got time for that. Nope. Uh-uh. Nah, man. Uh-uh. But the mentality, man. I never understood, like you say, what you told your mom, which was beautiful, man, is not to share. Like if I got some good candy, right, and you hear, I'm like, hey, Rod, man, you need to try a piece of this chocolate. It's delicious, man. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Or something. And now we both enjoying it together. You like, damn, Reese, this is some good ass chocolate. Where you get this from? We smiling and laughing that instead of I just want to eat all the chocolate my damn self. You know, man,
Mm-hmm.
get confirmation on it. Damn, yeah. I never never quite understood that frame of reference to be selfish.
But people generally are selfish with good shit.
How you
If,
mean?
if the food tastes good, they less likely to want to share it. It's a unique individual that is so good. Your food be so good, they be like, man, you gotta taste this.
Yeah, yeah, this shit good. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
But you done think 1,000 times somebody come around, we'll give you some, but it's too good, stop eating.
Yeah, yeah. Nah, man, you can enjoy, you laugh. You know what I'm saying? Talk about it as a story to talk about with your friend later on. Or
If,
somebody.
if,
So
if
yeah,
your
man.
woman got some good coochie, you don't want your homeboys around
You
her.
know, it is maybe that rule don't apply to everything.
You know, and they might not even be thinking about it like that, but you know how good it is, and you don't want them to have none.
Yeah, no. Like I teach my son, man, you don't go around telling everybody about your woman and what you do. You know what I'm saying? My daddy taught me that.
Two-way street too.
What's that now?
Real women.
daughter.
Look, real women don't want to tell no. They don't want the other women to know if their man lay that thing down.
Yeah, showing pictures and stuff. No, you keep that. My daddy.
They don't want. They don't want to. They don't want their girlfriend to be like, "Ooh, let me go try."
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah, so maybe that share thing does have a limit on some things. Yeah.
Look, it takes exceptional character to want to share what's good. They even go with money. People will lend you $20, but they won't give it to you. Fall out with you because you can't pay them back when they want you to. Normally,
right.
they're not going to even ask for it back until they realize that they didn't spend all what they had. Now they got to say, "Oh, so and so owed me $20. Let me call them." Why you ain't asking for it last week when y'all was standing there and you was showboating because you had got your little check and you wanted to buy everybody dinner and you seen him with that wad of money, but now both of y'all ain't got it. You mad because he ain't got it when you ain't got it. Look, my old dude told me don't put good money on top of bad money. What that mean? That mean that
put good money.
If you lend him fucking $20 and he come back and he ain't paid you, you can't give him no money till he pay you back. Right? If you go to the Bronx, tell the old man told the youngsters about the guy that kept running from him about his $20, he said, let him have it.
Yeah.
Because you just bought him out of your life for $20. You ain't got to deal with him anymore.
Yeah, my dad pretty much gave it to me like that too. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time,
Oprah gave me a jewel too. She say, if you can afford to lend it to him, you can afford to give it to him. If you can't afford to give it to him, you can't afford to lend it to him.
Yeah, that's wise. Yeah, that's a jewel right there to carry and to live by.
Yeah,
run into a lot less headache.
Like if somebody asks me to borrow some money, I'll say you can have it. If you give it back, it's a blessing. But if you don't, I'm not gonna stress it.
Right.
Either I got it to give you. If I don't got it to give you, I don't have it to lend you. And that's the number one reason why a lot of people fall out. That lending and borrowing money. Don't give somebody something you can't stand to lose. Period. If they ask you for $100 and you can afford to give them $100, give it to them. Don't lend it to them. You create bad relationships like that. Man, we got enough bad relationships as it is
already. Wow. Yeah, that's part of them damn money magic right there. You know, man, look at wow. Never looked at it.